So today we're going to dive into one single, really radical idea that tries to make sense of one of the most polarizing companies on the planet. It's a concept called the Muskonomy, and trust me, it might just reframe everything you think you know about Tesla.
Let's just kick things off with one number that puts it all into perspective: 280x. That was Tesla's recent price-to-earnings ratio. Now, in simple terms, that means for every single dollar of profit Tesla makes, the market is willing to pay $280. For a car company, that number is, well, it's just insane. It makes you ask a really big question. Is this valuation the absolute bargain of a lifetime, or are we looking at the biggest financial bubble we've ever seen? That's the core of it, right? And the answer, it turns out, depends entirely on what you think Tesla actually is. See, to really get this, you have to realize there are two completely different conversations happening at the same time, and they are picturing two wildly different futures. On one side, you got your traditional Wall Street analysts. They look at the spreadsheets, they run the numbers, and they see a successful, but let's be honest, wildly overvalued car company that's facing a mountain of competition. But on the other side, you have the believers in this Muskonomy, and they see something else entirely. Not a car company, but the blueprint for a whole new economic system, one that's designed to create abundance on a global scale.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. How do you value something that requires a civilization-level bet? One side demands hard proof before they'll believe it. The other side argues that the proof can only exist after the world makes this massive trillion-dollar investment. It's the ultimate chicken and egg problem. So how on earth can we bridge this huge gap between financial reality and this, completely radical vision for the future? Well, the whole argument rests on this really fascinating concept.
It's called earned audacity, and the idea is actually pretty simple. A company earns the right to be incredibly audacious, to shoot for the moon, in direct proportion to its track record of actually delivering on its past promises. So this isn't about blind faith. It's about faith that's backed up by a history of execution.
And when you look at the evidence for this earned audacity, it's pretty compelling. Master Plan 1, way back in 2006, done. Master Plan 2 from 2016, yeah, mostly delivered. And Master Plan 3, the one focused on sustainable energy, is already seeing explosive growth. You see the pattern, right? Make an audacious promise, and then actually do it.
Okay, so this history of delivery is really the launch pad for everything that comes next. And this is where the vision goes from big to just grandiose. Welcome to the Muskonomy. The next phase, Master Plan 4, isn't being framed as just another business strategy. The ambition here is to literally create the operating system for a brand new human era, an age of abundance.
And this new age is built on a few key layers. We're talking about something called the terafab for building AI chips, massive data centers up in orbit, and of course the big one, the humanoid robot, Optimus. Let's break those down real quick.
So first up, terafab. The theory goes that no one can possibly produce the insane volume of AI chips needed for a future of full autonomy. So Tesla's plan is to just build them itself. And they're aiming for a cost of less than $1 per TOPS, which is 1 trillion operations per second. It's a measure of computing power, and that cost is just ridiculously low.
Next up, you've got data centers in orbit. And no, that's not a sci-fi concept. The actual plan is to use Starship to launch 7 gigawatts of computing power into space by 2030. It'll be powered by the sun and cooled by the vacuum of space. The scale of this it's almost hard to wrap your head around.
And then there's Optimus. It is so important to get this. This project completely redefines the entire mission. This is not about a robot that builds cars a little faster. The stated goal here is to remove physical labor as a fundamental constraint on the entire global economy. Period.
And this chart just drives that point home. According to Elon Musk himself, the humanoid robot is projected to be worth more than half of Tesla's entire long-term value. In this vision, everything else, the cars, the energy, the chargers, that's all just the smaller slice of the pie. Okay, so let's zoom all the way out from these individual projects. What is the ultimate goal? What's the final boss level that the Muskonomy is being built to defeat?
The argument is that, for the first time in history, a single company is systematically attacking the last 3 fundamental bottlenecks that are holding back human civilization.
So what are these final scarcities? First, energy, which they're tackling at a grid scale with solar and megapacks. Second, intelligence, being addressed through the massive development of AI and full self-driving. And third, physical work, which is where the Optimus robot comes in.
And this brings us right back to where we started. That 280x PE ratio? It suddenly looks a little different through this lens, doesn't it? The argument is the market isn't pricing a car company. It's pricing the non-zero chance that a single company can provide the solutions to humanity's oldest, most fundamental problems.
So at the end of the day, is it a bubble or is it a bargain? The answer really depends on whether you believe this quote. Are you investing in a company that makes electric cars? Or are you investing in the possibility, however small, of a future where scarcity itself is no longer the default condition for human life? That right there is the multi-trillion-dollar question.